Live from Schellenberger Field on the campus of the University of Lynchburg, you're watching field hockey on LHSN. Lynchburg Hornets looking to get back to their winning ways, coming off a 3-2 loss at the hands of number 14 team in the country, Washington and Lee. Meanwhile, Randolph-Macon coming in on a 3-game win streak, outscoring opponents 17-1 in that stretch. And it's a battle between two of the top 4 teams inside the ODAC. Lynchburg sitting at 3rd, Randolph-Macon sitting at 4th. Thank you all for tuning in. TJ Wingard here with you on this Saturday afternoon. One of 2 broadcasts we'll bring to you. After this, we have the women's soccer team playing host to Roanoke. But we start with some field hockey action. The Lynchburg Hornets, number 17 team in the country. As mentioned, coming off the loss to Washington and Lee on the road against the Generals. At home this year, they are 3-0. Overall on the season, sitting at 8-4, 3-1 in conference play. Here are some of the stats entering the matchup. Randolph-Macon, 7-5 on the season, 2-1 inside conference play. And there's a lot of talent for both sides. Of course, when you talk about Lynchburg, Jackie Laro, someone who immediately jumps off the page, but someone else who's really been playing some really solid field hockey of late is Emily Dudley. Had a goal and an assist against Washington and Lee. And for Randolph-Macon, certainly want to keep your eye on Teresa Ambrogi Torres, team leader with 9 goals and 3 assists on the season. We're now underway. Pass swung out wide, looking for Cindy Doomstra. Pass goes wayward. Now it's Brittany Clayball for Lynchburg, carrying it towards the attacking third. Jackie Laro working along the end line, trying to navigate down towards into the shooting circle. Pass is broken up, picked up by Ambrogi Torres. Just the second time this season that Lynchburg's actually called this Schellenberger Field their home site. Their first 2 quote-unquote home games are over at the university, or Liberty University, I should say. Their prior home game was against Emory and Henry, or I beg your pardon, Eastern Mennonite, 4-0 victory. They're outscoring or outshooting the Royals 42-0. Laro gets a stick on it, looking to play the redeflect off the pass from Clayball. Possession now with Randolph-Macon. 3 wins in a row coming against Virginia Wesleyan, Ferrum, and Sweetbriar. 4-1 win over the Marlins. 9-0 victory over the Panthers, and then a 4-0 win over the Vixens of Sweetbriar. These 2 teams have seen each other a fair amount. Last year, Lynchburg came away with a 6-0 win. And all time, Lynchburg 30-1 against Randolph-Macon since the turn of the century. Ball ahead, looking for Ambrogi Torres. Picked up by Madison Mark. Freshman picked up her first goal of her collegiate career against Eastern Mennonite. And it was to open the scoring in that match against the Royals. Pass ahead couldn't be handled by Isabel Cotton. And it rolls harmlessly across the end line. Between the posts for the 2 teams, Kayla Brady, the sophomore starter for Lynchburg. 4th in the conference in saves, 3rd in save percentage, and goals against average. And here's a nice split for you if you're a Hornets fan. In September, 1.77 goal against average and 75% save percentage. In October, the goal against average down to 0.8, save percentage up to just over 85%. So you're seeing the young keeper start to make strides in the right direction, and all this playing time that Brady has garnered certainly paying off. Emma Strauss in the middle of the pitch. Penetrates inside the shooting circle, working to her left. Tries to pull back. Has it jarred loose. Looks like it might have hit off the body of a Yellow Jacket, so we'll have our first penalty corner on the day. 43-year head coach for Lynchburg, Enza Steele, likes to be very versatile with these penalty corner set pieces. A lot of times it does end up with Laro taking the shot, but that trio at the top of the shooting circle all certainly in play, as well as Aaron Boatwright flanking left. Those 3 at the top of the circle, by the way, Laro, Emily Dudley, and Emily Yanis, who is now making her 8th consecutive start for the Hornets. Instead, it goes out wide. This is Kaylee Truitt taking the shot. Looks like it was blocked by Isabel Cotton. Might have been kicked away by senior keeper Gatlin Snyder. Product of Powhatan, Virginia. Second team All-ODAC last year. It's going to be another penalty corner chance, though, for Lynchburg. Emma Strauss to insert. Strauss, a grad student, Pennsylvania, second team All-ODAC last year and in 2019. Feeds Giannis. Dudley tries to play to redeflect as Snyder comes out pretty far out of the cage. And you'll see goalkeepers be aggressive, especially in soccer, and field hockey a little bit more reserved. But there are some keepers that play it out and push themselves out of the cage. But Snyder early on really taking that to another level. She was a third of the way through shooting circle in that play, and if Dudley makes contact, there's a good chance we're talking 1-0 Lynchburg. But solid defense from the Yellow Jackets keeps it tied up 0-0. Giannis is looking for space on the far side. Won't have any. Foul goes against Randolph-Macon. So Hornets off the restart. Trying to get it out to Truitt. Loose ball picked up. Yellow Jackets with numbers the other way, but Riley Cameron there to break up the passing lane. That's a big stop there for the center back and sophomore from New Jersey. That ball gets through. It's 1-on-1 against Brady the other way. And if that ball got through, it looks like Tori Mumm would have had the chance against the Hornets keeper. Mumm getting her 12th start in the season, 13th game played. A fair amount of players for Randolph-Macon where they've played in every game and started all but one. And that one exception being a couple of games back against Virginia Wesleyan. Strauss, right on the attacking third line. Gives back to Aaron Boatwright, sophomore. Goal. Last match for Lynchburg against Washington and Lee on the season. 4 goals, 3 assists. She's certainly been a welcome addition to the offensive production on top of everything she gives you on the defensive end. Nice move, creating space. This is Lindsey Moore. Pass ahead intended for Elena McCoy, taken away instead by Strauss. And you have to keep in mind, so we have a little bit of weather that came through. It looks like now we're getting the part of the day where it's going to be blue skies and partly cloudy, but we had some rain coming in. So while these teams are playing on turf and it'll absorb the rain quickly, it's still a little muggy out there right now. So you see these players taking big cuts. It's not generating the same amount of roll as it normally would. Mia Coonley will check in the next available opportunity for Randolph-Macon, a freshman from Yorktown. Goal in 3 consecutive games. Not bad for the newcomer. 4 goals in the year, 5 assists to go with it. Laro gets her stick on it, creates the turnover. Has real estate in front of her. She's tough to keep up with. Doomstra trying her best. Laro slows down for a moment, now inside the shooting circle, just in front of Snyder. And draws some contact on the play, and Lynchburg is going to be awarded their 3rd penalty corner already. Clock stops, 8:46 left in the first quarter. 2-0 shot advantage early on for Lynchburg. Strauss whacks it out towards Laro. Plays it over. Truitt takes the shot. Boatwright picks up the loose ball. Can't handle it as she tries to cross left to right. Ball goes out of play across the end line. So I mentioned Coach Angela Steele for Lynchburg. On the other side for Randolph-Macon, 5th-year head coach Jessica Weiss. Done a lot of quality things for the Yellow Jackets. Former field hockey and women's lacrosse player and coach, Susquehanna. She also Coached both those programs at CNU. Started out as the women's lacrosse coach, then started working with the field hockey team during her tenure with the Captains. Now the penalty corner on the way for Lynchburg. Already the 4th of the first quarter. Now we're in a spot where Lynchburg's getting a lot of opportunities. If you're a Hornets fan, you need to see one of these chances pay dividends and find the back of the cage. Tough to beat Snyder, though. 3rd in the conference in saves, 2nd in save percentage, 4th in goal against average. Casa Romero gets it inside the semicircle, finds a couple sticks, and put up into the air. And Snyder was able to get glove on it. Call it the glove, it's more of a pad. But gets the right hand on it and swats it back down. Nonetheless, 5th penalty corner now for Lynchburg. Strauss out to the far side. Still Giannis, Lero, and Dudley at the top of the circle. Boat right on the near side wing. Pass goes out to Truitt. Swung over for Lero, who can't handle the pass. Trying to navigate towards the end line. Lero back to Claybaugh. Senior from Chesapeake, Virginia, has it taken away. Back the other way for Randolph-Macon. Ambrogi Torres. Ambrogi Torres, goal in 2 in a row. All ODAC's second team a season ago. Led the team and was 7th in the conference in goals last season with 6. Lero had it for a moment, poked up, and actually deflected off of her body, so turnover. Puts possession back with the Yellow Jackets. Trying to center it up. It's Romero on the far side. Junior was 2nd team All ODAC, 3rd team All Conference in 2019. Romero looking for space. Instead, Gardner's another penalty corner chance. These penalty corners, though they haven't bared any fruit in regards to the scoreboard, it has put Lynchburg in a really solid position in controlling the possession and the flow of this game. It's been few and far between. We've seen the Yellow Jackets be able to go back the other way. Therefore, they've taken out Teresita Ambrogi Torres for the most part. Tori Mumm was the outlet on a potential fast break, but that was broken up by Riley Cameron. So the opportunities for Randolph-Macon have been few and far between. That's largely because Lynchburg dominating time possession and creating a ton of penalty corner chances. Lero back to Truitt. Shot is wide right. Starting to see Truitt become more and more of a factor on those set-piece chances. Senior from Delaware. Started all 13 games. Does have an assist on the season. As it stands right now, 6-0 penalty corner advantage, 4-0 shot advantage for the Hornets. And here comes penalty corner number 7 for Lynchburg. Meanwhile, if you're wanting to take a look at the live stats for these two teams and in this match, Randolph-Macon, team comparison, all zeros so far. Truitt tries again. Snyder blocks it away with the stick. Ball still live. Strauss trying to pick it up. We'll have another PC inbound. Strauss again to insert. Lero back to Strauss. That's a play that when Lynchburg has gone to it has bared some good fruit, but not on this occasion. Dudley. Lero gets a stick on it. It's popped up. Thought it might have been called a dangerous ball once the whistle was blown. Instead, stop me if you heard it before. Another penalty corner on the way for Lynchburg. Clock stops with 5:27 left in the first quarter. Played into Giannis. She tries to beat Snyder to her stick side. Couple of Yellow Jackets with fantastic defensive stops as Snyder slowed down the shot's momentum, but the ball was still live. Might have been Isabel Cotton getting a stick on it. It also looked like we might have seen Annika Egerland getting in there to help get the team saved. Big halt there. Otherwise, we're talking 1-0 Lynchburg. Hornets keep possession, but now instead of a penalty corner chance that we had seen over the past couple of minutes, they're reset out towards the attacking third line, and now the Yellow Jackets create a turnover. Randolph-Macon working left to right. Turns it over pretty much immediately. This is Ashlyn White navigating the midfield, playing it towards the center of the turf. Playing it quick, trying to play the advantage. Good ball ahead. Ambrogi Torres with Cameron behind her. Works towards the end line. Tries to center it up. The intended target. Maya Coonley couldn't get a stick on it. That's a tough spot where Brady, the keeper for Lynchburg, has to cut off the angle on the shot for Ambrogi Torres. But what happens then is that backside play is wide open. And if Coonley was able to make contact and just get that redeflect, the cage was all hers to make it 1-0 Randolph-Macon. Dudley tries to play it out wide, looking for Giannis. Deflected off the body of a Randolph-Macon defender. Romero. Well defended. 2 white jerseys all over her, but Romero does it again. And that's part of what makes Kessa Romero such a big part of the offense for Lynchburg. Even though she, 2 goals, 3 assists, solid production, but it's, not tops on the team. What she does as the ball carrier, essentially, cross-sport analogy of, basketball and football in mind, what she does carrying the ball forward and initiating the offense and creating another penalty corner on that play. That speaks to how important Romero is to this Hornets lineup. On the near side, Skylar Dice takes the shot. Dudley, redeflect. Clayball was there. If Lynchburg was able to get it past Snyder, even if they didn't get in the cage, Boatwright was on the backside of that play, would have been able to poke it through. But no worries if you're a Lynchburg fan. Yet another penalty corner chance on the way. And now we're in a spot where you have to give a ton of credit to Randolph-Macon's defense to withstand this type of bombardment from the Hornets. I mean, that is no easy task, to say the least. Over the last 3 games, Randolph-Macon has only allowed 1 goal. And the defensive effort has carried over into today. Hit the foot of Laro. Whistle blown, and now a chance for Randolph-Macon to build from the back line. Yellow Jackets try to go aerial. Romero plays it down to the turf. Absorbs the contact. Nothing to do it on the possession for Lynchburg, however. Just under 2.5 minutes left in the opening quarter. It's been a bit of a long one due to all the penalty corners for Lynchburg. That stands right now 9 in the opening quarter of play. Lynchburg entering today had 110 PCs on the season, but today they are certainly on pace to exceed the average amount allotted per contest. Randolph-Macon again trying to go aerial. Ambrogi Torres, the intended target, picked up by Clayball instead. Looking long, Dice working in the middle of the turf. 2 teams battle back and forth. Across the sideline it goes. Lynchburg ball. Mark to start up the possession. Romero creates space. Great chance for Lynchburg. Ball still live. Snyder down onto the turf. You can't lay on it like you can in hockey. Lero tries her luck and will be denied by the senior Snyder. And it was a good shot from Romero. And Emily Giannis, again, you hear me say this term a lot, back post. She was there for the rebound chance. But it sounded like it might have actually clunked off the post itself on Giannis' shot. Then after that, Snyder was able to regroup and when working against Lara, was able to block up the ball. And Lara's shot essentially is trying to just nudge it past Snyder. Aerial to midfield, foul to go against Randolph-Macon. Mark's pass broken up by Anna Stribling, making her 13th start of the season. Sophomore from Annandale, Virginia. Goal and an assist on the season. Both coming against St. Mary's of Maryland. And the first quarter has come to a close. Lynchburg puts up a ton of shots, garners a ton of penalty corners, but nothing to show for it. 0-0 your score after the first quarter. We'll step aside and come back. The second quarter of action between Lynchburg and Randolph-Macon on LHSN.
I never think that your donation is in vain because you're helping out hundreds of students that are just like me who need a shot and who are getting one. Without donations, without you individuals that are helping to donate to the university and the Lynchburg Fund, there would be no student body president, Davion Washington. There'd probably be I'm stuck at home, Davion Washington. Not only is your donation building leaders, but it's building leaders like myself and others that will hopefully want to pay it forward one day and you do the same thing. I know for a fact that, when I have it, because I will, I want to give back to this university that provided me a home for 4 years.
When you come to the University of Lynchburg to earn a master's degree in athletic training, you'll spend time in the classroom, but you'll also spend a lot of time in our top-notch facilities learning from athletic trainers and working closely with our student athletes. In the Graduate Cadaver Lab, you'll learn about the human body in the best way possible by actually studying the human body. This will provide a foundation to make you a much better athletic trainer. In the athletic training laboratory, you'll get hands-on experience, practicing your skills, applying concepts from the classroom, and working with faculty on research projects. It's also where our hydrotherapy facilities are. This space is also used by students for studying and practicing skills outside of class time. In the Sports Medicine Clinic and Turner Gymnasium, you'll work with student athletes from more than 20 NCAA Division III sports teams, helping get them back to practice and into the game as soon as possible. As an athletic training student, you're a big part of the success of our sports teams and the success of the local athletic teams. We see this relationship.
Second quarter between the Hornets and Yellow Jackets set to get underway. Aerial from Tori Mumm. She's had her fair share of work manning that back line for Randolph-Macon. Making her 12th start this year. Also has a goal and assist on top of her defensive efforts. And Lynchburg in that first quarter, 5-0 shot advantage over Randolph-Macon. The Hornets had the possession early. Emma Strauss takes it away now. Trying to find Romero. Loose ball foul to go against the junior. Swung out wide by Stribling. Looking ahead for Mia Coonley. Pass off the mark. So Madison Mark will start up. Lynchburg run from the back line. Freshman from Mechanicsburg, Virginia. Started all 13 games this year for Lynchburg. The Hornets looking to start up a new ODAC win streak. It was at 32 games prior to the loss at the hands of Washington and Lee. Just an unbelievable mark. It's hard to maintain win streaks like that as the pass from Cameron comes in a little too hot for Boatwright to handle. Goes out across the sideline. Here's a chance for Randolph-Macon. Haven't seen them often in the attacking third, but Asia Washington will start the run. Instead, actually, stepping up is going to be Sydney Doomstra, senior from Montpelier, Virginia. Strauss intercepts the pass that was intended for Elena McCoy. Strauss hits the brakes, gives to Clayball. Looking to bomb it ahead. Was a step behind Laro and a step ahead of Sarah McCollum. But a chance today for Lynchburg. Start up a new ODAC win streak, as I was talking about. It's also a homecoming. So, solid crowd has gathered behind us. Press box just overlooking Schellenberger Field. And throughout the campus of University of Lynchburg, alumni, students, family, you name it, they're here. And Brogy Torres tries to split the double team. Hornets get their stick down. Nice defense in specific from Madison Mark. Now the sun is starting to poke out. Hopefully some of the moisture on the turf and on the track beside it can start to be absorbed and dry up. Talked about that in the first quarter. The moisture certainly played a factor, as you'll see players take big whacks and would turn into missiles in whatever direction the pass or shot is sent towards. Today it's been a little bit more slow rollers. The turf works quick. So by the time we get to the second half, I'm sure we're talking regular conditions for Schellenberger Field. Doomstra just outside the attacking third line. Well played by Clayball. Creates the turnover. No numbers advantage for Lynchburg, but Clayball has Laro flanking to her right. Lets it rip. Takes the stick out of the hands of Doomstra, who's then able to pick it back up, clear it away. Loose ball gathered by Boatwright. She's now inside the shooting circle. Doomstra there, clear it back out. Lynchburg will try once more. Clayball with two defenders around her. Looking for the redeflect. I'll call him a step away from being able to potentially take the shot. Looks like Truitt did get a stick down. So Doomstra, a lot of ways playing a role similar to what we see in soccer, that holding mid position, doing a whole lot on the defensive end and the primary facilitator for the offense, if you will. We talked about while Lynchburg's looking to start up a new ODAC win streak, Randolph-Macon looking to keep a win streak alive. Come in today winners of 3 in a row, chance to make it 4. It would also be the first time that Randolph-Macon has beaten Lynchburg in almost 20 years. The only time Randolph-Macon has beaten Lynchburg Hornets since the turn of the century, September 12th, 2001. Pretty bewildering stat there. It's 29 consecutive wins for Lynchburg in this rivalry. Boatwright picks off the pass. Can't find McCollum. Washington. Gets it over to Moore. Now looking ahead for McCoy. Pass is broken up by Cameron across the sideline. It'll stay with Randolph-Macon. Yellow Jackets still looking for their first shot of the day. Laro creates the chance the other way for Lynchburg. Poked away by Doomstra. Nice play there for the senior. Laro was tough to stop when she gets ahead of steam, moving the other direction. Doomstra was there just in time. Slow down the Lynchburg attack and actually garner the possession for RMC. Moore. Pass a little strong, looking for McCoy. Cameron can't keep it in. So, Randolph-Macon will operate in the attacking third. Haven't had to say that a whole lot today. It's a good thing if you're a Lynchburg fan. Something you'd like to see change if you're a fan of the Yellow Jackets. Opportunity doesn't last all that long. Possession will stay with Randolph-Macon. So it was cleared away by Truitt. Mom continues to go to those aerial plays. Riley Weinfordner in for Lynchburg. Battling against Isabel Cotton. Romero weaves past three separate defenders. Had Laro the first touch, but Trey's the grad student from Pennsylvania. Laro third in the ODAC. An assist, tied for fourth in points. Second in shots with 61 entering today. First team All-Conference last year and in 2019. Laro with another turnover created. Takes some contact from the backside defender. Another penalty corner, first of the second quarter for either side. And the 10th on the match already for Lynchburg. Update, make that number 11 of the match. Similar setup if you missed any of the PC chances for Lynchburg in the first quarter. Strauss to insert. Dudley Laro. But now, accompanying the top of the circle is Weinfordner. Shot comes from Dudley. Finds the left hand of Snyder. Deflected out towards the far side of the semicircle. Weinfordner trying to pick it up and restart for Lynchburg. Contact and a foul to go against Randolph-Macon, this time outside the shooting circle. Weinfordner working along the end line, trying to feed Dudley. Dudley can't make solid contact, however, no shot for Lynchburg, and instead Mumm goes aerial out towards the far side. Those aerial plays are tough to handle. It's one of those positive but negative plays, at least early on with how it's played out for Randolph-Macon, where Mumm's been able to clear it out and force Lynchburg to reset all the way back towards midfield, which is the positive side of it. But RMC's also had a hard time then taking those clears and building offensive chances against the Hornets. Nearly a look there for Laro. Pass took a hop up over the grad student stick. Less than 6 minutes left in the first half. Still looking for our first score. Swing and a miss from Cotton. Goes off her leg. Back to Lynchburg it goes. Now off the foot of Cotton. Romero tries to find Dudley. Pass broken up by Stribling. Another foul in the play. This one will go against Lynchburg, though. Claybaugh. Now it's Laro. Trying to beat Snyder's stick side, but misses wide of the cage. Gloucester, Virginia native Kessa Romero looking for space. Gets it inside the shooting circle, and we'll have yet another penalty corner on the way for the Hornets. Chances and looks have been there all day so far for Lynchburg. But now comes the time. Try to put one in the back of the cage. Obviously easier said than done. The Yellow Jackets have done a lot on the defensive end, and really Lynchburg hasn't had a whole lot of room off these penalty corner chances. Romero going to be called for the dangerous ball. Mumm out towards midfield, picked up by Boatwright. 4 minutes left in the first half. Foul goes against Randolph-Macon. So a meeting between the number 3 and 4 team inside the ODAC conference. Dudley has it denied by Snyder. Laro working against Mumm. No space for Laro. Rolls across the end line. Already 17 shots today for Lynchburg, averaging 19 and some change per game on the season. And I mentioned at the start of the broadcast in that 4-0 win against EMU, a 42-0 shot advantage for the Hornets over the Royals. Yet another penalty corner on the way. The top of the circle working left to right. It's still Dudley, Laro, and Weinfordner. Truitt on the near side wing. Strauss to Laro. Laro's going to try to take it herself. Propped up by Snyder. And trying to climb the ladder and take a shot towards the cage was Dudley. Foul on the play. It'll go against Randolph-Macon. It's one of those things in field hockey, dangerous stick position. It could go either way, really, on that play, from where I see it. Dudley tried to go up and bring the ball down, as did Snyder, but it goes against Randolph-Macon. Clock stops with 3:11. Laro can't handle the feed from Strauss. Yet another squandered opportunity for the Hornets. And once we get to halftime, I have a feeling I know what Coach Enza Steele is going to be talking to her team about in the locker room. It's great to see a team create a lot of opportunities and chances and control a game. And it's felt one-sided. That's saying a lot because Randolph-Macon's a good team, but when you can't convert, you put yourself in a position like you are here where Ambrogi Torres can put Randolph-Macon ahead. She's just outside the circle. Tries to play it for McCoy. Pass broken up. Lynchburg's defense hasn't been tested often, but able to answer the call there. Cotton can't get it past Boatwright. Clayball with Doomster right on her hip. Takes the shot. Kicked away by Snyder. Cleared outside the shooting circle. Picked up by Romero. Romero tries her luck. Dudley has it hit off the post. Starting to feel as though there is saran wrap across the cage for Lynchburg. They have found just about every way not to score that you can. Another penalty corner, though, as the result of that play. 19 shots in the first half. Less than 2 minutes left to go until we get to the break. First of 2 games coming to you today on LHSN. The second going to be women's soccer playing host to the Roanoke Maroons. A little break in the action as trying to sort out some substitutions that might have just come on for Randolph-Macon. Coach Weiss pleading her case. Referee was initially had his attention grabbed by Coach Steele. Playback underway. From Strauss to Laro, back to Strauss. Now it's Dudley trying. Truitt had it for a second. Was unable, though, to gather, pull the trigger, and take a shot. Instead, at our feet is where it ends. Cotton, costly turnover. Laro takes the shot, kicked away with the left foot by Snyder. Laro tries again. Down to a knee, Snyder with another save. Less than 45 seconds in the first half. Romero tries to feed Truitt. Another empty run for Lynchburg. Ten seconds and counting. Potentially the final chance for Lynchburg, though Romero hits a wall. The form of Ambrogi Torres, so this will see the final second of the first half wind down off the clock. A one-sided affair, but not where it matters the most on the scoreboard. We're tied up and still scoreless through 30 minutes of play between Lynchburg and Randolph-Macon. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about the first half and our first segment of our halftime show, so recap with us and stick around for more between the Yellow Jackets and the Hornets on LHSN. Welcome back to Schellenberger Field, the site for our clash between Lynchburg and Randolph-Macon, a field hockey battle between the Hornets and the Yellow Jackets. Sees a scoreless first half, but nonetheless a one-sided affair in regards to time of possession, shots on goal, and you see Gatlin Snyder with 11 saves, or I should say Randolph-Macon with 11 saves. There were a couple of team saves in the mix there for Randolph-Macon, or so it saw from my eyes. As it stands right now, live stats show Snyder with all 11 saves. Her season high at 21, so as it stands right now, Snyder on pace to set a new season high in that category. 25 shots to 1 for Lynchburg. That's the storyline so far. And not only have there been an abundance of shots, but there have been a lot of high-quality opportunities, not only just the 16 penalty corners, but turnovers created by Brittany Claybog, Emma Strauss, Kessa Romero, Jackie Laro, you name it. Everyone's been in the mix. And Lynchburg has essentially camped out and lived in the attacking third against Randolph-Macon, but nothing to show for it. And you have to think that's what Coach Enja Steele is talking to her team about right now. And on the flip side, only one shot in the first half for Randolph-Macon. That is not going to get it done. You can play defensive and pack numbers back and try to absorb a big rush from your opponent and then break back the other way, but the passing early on for Randolph-Macon just hasn't been super crisp or clean so far. Haven't been able to get it out of the back line and haven't been able to build up the field, so therefore you're only garnering one shot in the first half when it's 0-0, and this game is certainly up for grabs. Those are the stats of the first half. We'll step aside and talk about it a little bit more of the first half, reset, and get you ready for everything you need to know in the second half play between the Yellow Jackets and the Hornets. Come to you on LHSN.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
Living the dream. USA, Mexico. That was so exciting.
Lynchburg really stood out for me just because of the way it treated its students. They really do make an effort here. And I've learned that over my 4 years is that they actually do try to listen to what the student body wants, and they try to act on that. They don't really just give you a piece of paper here to go off and do your own thing. They actually prepare you to work with different populations, which is what the world is all about. It's just working with people that are different than you. They genuinely care that everyone has the ability to go off into the world and make a difference with whatever they like. For me, that's just being basically in a room with someone helping them achieve their first goal of, I don't know, doing a pull-up. I actually do believe they want you to do the best you can to change someone's life for the better. You can be anyone here, which I think is really cool. But regardless of who you are here, they will make sure you don't fall through the cracks. which is awesome. I have realized that I've never felt lost here. I will not regret ever coming here, that's for sure. So I'm very glad that I came here. Yeah, it's actually pretty awesome.
If you like being close with your professors, if you like being in small classes that help with one-on-one, if you like being in positive communities that help you train your weak points and strengthen your strong points, then the University of Lynchburg is a great place to go. You can never go wrong with the amount of help that they offer, the amount of self-sacrifice that other people will put in for you. It has a beautiful campus, it has dedicated teachers, it has nice students, it has fun activities, and it has plenty of things to do.
Today's a rough day. Jess and I are officially on a break. The couple canoe has broken up.
How you feeling? Living the dream.
Just canoeing. That's the Mexican side behind me. The U.S. is that way.
So far, we're all still alive.
I really want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Woo! We did it! Kind of.
Moments away from the second half getting underway between Lynchburg and Randolph-Macon. Still scoreless at Schellenberger Field. Thank you all for tuning in to our first of two broadcasts on LHSN. TJ Wingert here with you. Appreciate you spending some of your Saturday afternoon with me. Battle between current number 3 and 4 teams inside the ODAC standings. First half was very one-sided in regards to possessions and shots. But Lynchburg, where it matters most, unable to break through, and the Hornets open the second half with possession. Emily Giannis working on the far side, trying to get past Mia Coonley. Plays it back. This is Romero. Did a whole lot trying to create opportunity. She's a big reason Lynchburg even has 25 shots or 16 penalty corners. I think another interesting nugget about those 16 penalty corners, Lynchburg came today averaging 19 shots per game, and they have nearly that amount of quantity in penalty corners, things that are normally much harder to come by than just shots. So Lynchburg certainly had some looks and some really good ones in the mix as well. And it feels like once Lynchburg's able to find that first score, it could potentially. Boatwright creates the turnover. Laro gets a stick on it. Sent away by Snyder. Giannis unable to pick it up. Instead, Coonley tries to give ahead. Can't connect on the pass to Ambrogi Torres. And the first half, you missed it. Lynchburg essentially lived full time in the attacking third. Boatwright. Shot from Romero. Deflected around a few times. Snyder's down to a knee. Weinfordner had it poked away from behind. Nice defensive play for Randolph-Macon, specifically from Catherine McGill. But penalty corner number 17 of the day coming for Lynchburg. Strauss will insert. It's Dudley, Laro, Weinfordner at the top of the circle. Near side is Giannis as well as Clayball. Pass goes to Giannis. Puts it in the middle of the circle. Big shot coming from Dudley. The grad student from Maryland denied. Third team all-conference last year. Dudley has 7 goals and 3 assists this year. Unable to find number 8. Here's another look at it. It was a mighty shot from Dudley, but it stays down on the ground, so Snyder able to get low enough. and keep the shot away from the cage. Another penalty corner, though. Strauss will enter from the far side now. And now we're starting to see the turf play a little bit more natural after the rain at the onset of this match. Weinforner tries to set it back towards the middle of the shooting circle. Able to do so now. Finds the stick of clay ball. Romero has 3 white jerseys all around her. Trying to backtrack. Draws the attention of Lena McCoy. Sent towards the post. An absolute missile from Dudley. Denied again by Snyder. Nothing can get past the senior keeper for Randolph-Macon. Stick save from Yellow Jacket defender will end the run, or at least the penalty corner chances that we see from Lynchburg. Hornets do keep possession. They'll reset from the attacking third line. The attack's been relentless, but Randolph-Macon has been able to answer the call every single time. Merkiava working in the midfield. Started all but one game this year for Randolph-Macon. Foul goes against Randolph-Macon. The bench and coach Jessica Weiss can't believe it. Trying to argue that it hit the ankle of a Hornet, but instead call goes against Randolph-Macon. Big hack from Romero. Leaves it just a step behind Dudley. Its possession immediately goes right back to Randolph-Macon. Tori Mumm, junior from Forest Hill, Maryland. No longer going to those aerial pieces that we saw a lot in the first half. In the last couple minutes of the first half, you saw her start to play it down on the ground, and I think that was an adjustment that was rightfully made, as those aerial pieces didn't result in any sustained runs for Randolph-Macon. Weinforder picks up the loose ball. Top of the circle. Picked up by McCoy. Freshman has 4 goals in her last 3 games. Ripped by Boatwright. Giannis on the far side. Tracking back to the middle of the turf. Draw some contact. No penalty corner. Happened outside the shooting circle. Restart just outside the semicircle. Romero bends all the way around. Kicked away with the right foot by Snyder. Rebounded all the way back out to Mark, but the whistle's blown. It'll go against Lynchburg. Randolph-Macon looking for their first win against Lynchburg since 2001. Hornets going to get back in the winning column. Keep pace with the rest of the ODAC. They're coming off a 3-2 loss against Washington and Lee. Out on the road this past Wednesday. Whistle blown. Stoppage in play with 9:38 left in the third quarter. Unsure exactly what resulted in that break in the play. But nonetheless, we're back underway. Boatwright wanted Mark, couldn't handle the pass. It's McGill passing it right to the opposing midfielder, Emma Strauss. Claybaugh. Over to Weinfordner. Deflected off the stick of Striebling. He's played really well. Been impressed by sophomore's play today. And Brogy Torres, really nice clear. Lynchburg will keep possession, but the run will start on their half of the turf. And even if Randolph-Macon just continues to shift the field of play, that would be a step in the right direction. Get it away from your defensive third and your cage. This won't help. Romero creates the turnover, working against Doomstra. Doomstra's going to be calling for the foul. Doomstra's also come up with some big defensive plays this year. Third-team All-Conference last year. Goal against Meredith and assist earlier this season against Transylvania. First touch betrays Claybaugh. Trying to get away from Chiava. Line forwarder. Dribbles to her right. Tries to center it up. Cleared away by McGill. Call goes against Lynchburg. Dangerous stick. A little over halfway through the third quarter. Laro trying to beat Mum. Yellow Jacket able to poke it free. Laro dribbles along the end line. Passes to Claybaugh. McGill gets away from Mark for a second. Sends it all the way back to the center back, Riley Cameron. Boatwright leaves the pass wide left of Kessa Romero. 31-1 shot advantage for the Hornets, but still scoreless in this match. Romero weaves through the center of the field. Hits off the knee of a Hornet. Possession right back to Randolph-Macon. Lynchburg comes in, the number 17 team in the country. That may shift just a little bit this upcoming Tuesday. Their loss against Washington Lee, the number 14 team in the country. Chance for Giannis, another save for Snyder. Penalty corner on the way for Lynchburg to continue that thought. Due to it being a loss against a ranked opponent on the road, wouldn't venture to see the Hornets fall out of the top 25, but they spent a chunk of the season at number 19. Preseason ranked at number 13. So in that 17 to 20 range sounds about right for Lynchburg. They might not move at all. Also depends on what else goes on across the country. Strauss will insert. Now it's Mark and Laro at the top. Also joined by Brooke Highland. A new configuration, and Coach Enja Steele trying to find a group that can hit the back of the cage and open up today's scoring. And Brogy Torres makes it through all the cluttered space in the midfield. Gets it over to McCoy. Riley Cameron with a big stop. Long ball ahead. Pass Laro. Wayward pass. Highland gets inside the semicircle. Laro flies in, trying to deflect it towards the cage. Penalty corner on the way. Snyder not happy with that call. Let's take another look at it now. Chipped up. I'll let you all be the judge at home. Mark will now flank right, along with Brittany Claybaugh. The trio at the top of the circle, Giannis, Laro, and Highland. They feed Mark. She takes a whack. Denied by Snyder. Rebound goes to Strauss. Grad student trying to backpedal and create space. Doomstra creates the turnover, and the masks come off for Randolph-Macon. They have survived the PC opportunity for the Hornets. Laro gets past one defender. Won't beat the second. Down to the turf she goes. Well defended by Stribling. Mum feeds Cotton. Giannis applies the pressure. Near side, McGill trying to send it deep, looking for Reagan Williams. Instead, Whitefordner clears it away. Forces Randolph-Macon to reset. Under 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Williams at the top of the attack for Randolph-Macon. Can't get past Cameron. Sophomore gives to yet another sophomore, Boatwright. Nice move coming from Romero. Possession stays alive. Megan Mayo, the intended target on that last pass from Romero. Junior trying to beat two separate Yellow Jacket defenders. Sends it towards the cage. Misses wide left. Highland tries her luck. Misses wide left. Mom can't handle the pass on the near sideline. Costly turnover. The Hornets again operating deep into Yellow Jacket territory. Weinfordner sends it towards the cage. Giannis with Gatlin Snyder charging out, down on a knee. Giannis couldn't even get the shot off. Ahead for McCoy. The freshman from Fredericksburg, Virginia, picks up. Loose ball. Denied a couple of times now by Boatwright. A couple of subs for Lynchburg will check in. Next available opportunity. Those subs include Franca Veranek and Emily Dudley. Long ball ahead. Williams can't handle it. It goes off her leg. Well, that was your chance if you're Randolph-Macon. Williams would have been one-on-one against Brady. We saw in the first half, there was a one-on-one opportunity. The pass was broken up by Riley Cameron, but if Yellow Jackets were able to get it ahead to Ambrogi Torres, she would have been one-on-one against Kayla Brady. And here on this occasion, it was Williams on the receiving end. Pass got through, but a little strong for Williams to handle, and it goes off her leg. But Randolph-Macon back into positive territory. It's McGill looking for space. Madison Mark in front of her, as well as Veranek. Poked away by Weinfordner. Lynchburg to take over now. Less than 10 seconds left in the third quarter. And as those final seconds tick off the clock, we remain scoreless between Randolph-Macon and Lynchburg. 35 shots for the Hornets to just 1 for the Yellow Jackets. But still looking for the first score of the match. May come in the fourth quarter, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. More between Lynchburg and Randolph-Macon coming to you on LHSN.
The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. "100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it."
The final stanza between Lynchburg and Randolph-Macon. Still scoreless between these two sides. We'll see if there's enough time in regulation for either of these two teams to break through. It's Aaron Boatwright looking for space. And Lynchburg has done a lot of the operating when it comes to the offensive attack in this match so far. Franca Veranek has it jarred loose by Doomstra. Riley Weinforder trying to get past McGill. Taking the rip is Strauss. Dudley tries. Cleared away by Randolph-Macon. Loose ball picked up by Ambrosi Torres. Boatwright sends it back towards the semicircle. Picked up by Doomstra. Now these two teams start out the fourth quarter fighting for possession. And if you're Randolph-Macon, despite being outshot 37-1, you are one play away from being the victor. You just need to be able to connect on that outlet. We've seen two chances. One where the pass couldn't get through. The other occasion when Reagan Williams just couldn't handle the pass and it went up and off of her leg. Meanwhile, for Lynchburg, take your pick on which opportunity was the best to try to convert on. They've had an abundance of penalty corners throughout the entire match. As it stands right now, that count at 20-0 so far for Randolph-Macon. And on cue, here comes PC number 21. Give a ton of credit to Gatlin Snyder. 21 saves, one short of her season high. And that 21 save performance came at Shenandoah in a 5-0 loss. She gave up 5 goals in that match as well today. Pitching the shutout with 20 saves to go with it. Insert goes to Lero, trying to beat the Yellow Jackets by herself. Loose ball looks like it hit off the shoulder of Stribling. yet another PC opportunity for the Hornets. And if you watched our LHSN broadcast when Lynchburg took on EMU, there were some offensive struggles. They outshot the Royals 42-0 in that match, but they still found the back of the cage 4 separate times, 2 goals for Laro in that one. But today, the offensive struggles have been really tough to break through. 38-1 shot advantage. I mean, that's a staggering amount, but nothing to show for it yet. They feed Laro. Kicked away by Snyder. Try again. Veranek has it denied a couple times. Kessler Romero picks up the loose ball. Feeding Weinforner, trying to flick it towards the cage. Cleared away by McGill. Picked up by Ambrogi Torres. Takes a hack. And Reagan Williams has the chance. Carries it all the way down towards the end line. Gets past Riley Cameron with the pass. Ambrogi Torres tries to take on 2 separate Hornet defenders. Cameron pokes it away. Ball still live. Well played by Laro. She gets it outside the shooting circle. Picked up by Kessler Romero now. Even numbers the other way for Lynchburg. Dudley gets past Mumm. And they're going to force Lynchburg to hit the brakes and start the possession at the attacking third line. And Mumm has been just as fantastic today as Snyder. So when Dudley got past Mumm, that was the opportunity to try to take advantage of. Laro, right to left. And the whistle is blown. Another penalty corner inbound for Lynchburg. 23rd penalty corner on the day. Lynchburg came in the day averaging a little over 9 PCs per contest. They have more than doubled that mark. Also more than doubled their shots per game average. They're feeding Laro once again. Splits the double team. Spins right. Tries to center it up. Boatwright with a stick on it. Now it's Claybaugh. Big stop for Randolph-Macon. The masks come off. This highlight is more of the same of what we've seen. No space for Lynchburg. And no real clean shot either. Dudley tries to cross it for Veranek. The pass a step behind the freshman from Germany. Doomster will start the possession for Randolph-Macon. Immediately turned over to Lynchburg. Romero can't get past Cotton. Instead, freshman from Newport News. We're going to bomb it ahead. Riley Cameron has Allie Moore get behind her. Now the two continue to fight down the field. Cameron gets the best of Moore for a moment. Whistle comes out and goes against the Yellow Jackets. Good recovery there from Riley Cameron. Played into the semicircle. Goes out of play. Less than 10 minutes in regulation. Kaylee Truitt returns to the match, coming in for Franca Veranek. Wayward pass from the Hornets. Dudley steps up, breaks up the pass. It's 1-on-4 the other way. It's no clear advantage. Whistle blown. That ends the Lynchburg run where it stood anyways. Claybaugh applies the pressure, creates the takeaway. Was able to get the best of Stribling. Stribling, good recovery speed. Takes it away from Claybaugh in return. Pass from McGill. Off the mark. Strauss takes some contact. Stick, hit her foot. Penalty corner now awarded to Lynchburg. In front of a full crowd for homecoming, the Hornets looking to come through with the ever-evasive first score of the match. Strauss to insert. Truitt, Laro, Dudley, top of the circle, working right to left. They'll play it out to the far side wing. This is Dice going aerial, looking to get Boatwright. Different look. I said at the top of the broadcast where Coach Enzo Steele wants to throw out a variety of different looks, and especially when you rack up 24 penalty corners and nothing to show for it, you got to try to mix things up. Here they try to loft it to Boatwright, who can get to that backside post. Boatwright unable to convert. Clayball does it again. Stops. Gives to Dudley. Just across the end line. Plays it to the circle. No one's there to answer the call for Lynchburg. Good hustle from Truitt. Can't keep it in play, however. Yellow Jackets reverse. Doomstra ahead to Moore. Strauss in front of her. Looking to pass to McCoy. Instead, taken away by Strauss. Foul goes against Lynchburg. Catherine McGill. Can't get it past Madison Mark. Trying to play the advantage. Here comes the RMC inside the circle. McCoy loses control. Good clear from Dice. Doomstra and Dice exchange possessions between one another. Now out wide. Good ball forward for Ambrogi Torres. Marked up by Cameron. They're going to say it hit off the leg. The sophomore defender. So it stays with Randolph-Macon. Isabel Cotton. Gives back to Mum. Over for Doomstra. Takes a hack. Kicked away by Brady. And this might be one of the most successful runs that we've seen for Randolph-Macon in regards to sustaining the possession. This might be the longest we've seen them be able to operate in positive territory all game long. Their big moments on the offensive side have come away with breakaway chances. And instead now, seeing roles reverse a little bit. Loose ball picked up, Stribling. Strauss gets a stick on it. Tries to cross back over. McGill and Mark to it. Foul goes against the freshman Mark. Less than 5 minutes in regulation. A chance for the Yellow Jackets to steal one on the road. Stribling can't get away from Laro. Picked up by Truitt. Truitt for Clayball. No numbers advantage. Clayball a touch too strong. Trying to carry the pace forward. Absorbs some contact from Egerland. Clayball down to the turf. They're going to stop the clock with 4:16. Green card comes out against the junior from Forest Hill, Maryland, Annika Egerland. So now another great opportunity for Lynchburg, playing with a number advantage.
Yeah, but then they take someone else off.
Dudley has it deflected out to Dice. So it's 11 on 10 right now for Lynchburg. Dice connects with Laro. Doomstra in front of her. Tries to pass it over to Truitt. And yet another occasion where Lynchburg creates a great look. And just one step away from being able to convert. Clay ball back for Strauss. To Dudley, our Hornets player to watch. Shot is high and wide. Mumm lofts forward. Brochi Torres the intended target. Gets it down. Well handled by McCoy. Mark the closest defender. Try to feed in Brochi Torres again. Whistle blown, it'll go against the Yellow Jackets. Nice play stepping up. Turnover created for RMC. But again, contact with the body ends the run for Randolph-Macon. Good ball from Boatwright. Handled well by Clayball. Slips through. This is Truitt. Two teams both picking up the pace. Long ball ahead. Might have been intended for Laro. She was the closest to it. Instead, Snyder watches it cross harmlessly across the end line. Lynchburg building from the back line. Approaching the 2-minute mark left in the fourth quarter. Mark tries to play the advantage. Referees will force her to go back, play towards midfield. Hornets reverse it to Boatwright. Played ahead looking for Sydney Metz. First time calling Metz's name tonight. It's Romero earning another penalty corner for Lynchburg. Clock stops with 1:24 left in regulation. Can the Hornets convert? It's been the question all day long. And if you're a Lynchburg fan, you're hoping the answer changes here. Meanwhile, if you're rooting for Randolph-Macon, you're hoping all stays the same and you can survive for another 84 seconds, send it to overtime. Strauss to Giannis. She'll take a chance. Hits the back of the cage. Was it deflected in by Boatwright? Nonetheless, whoever got it, Lynchburg breaks through and takes the 1-0 lead. Giannis' shot might have been on target, so it might go to the junior. Here's another look at it. Giannis looks like she did it herself. A huge moment for Lynchburg and one that was in the making all match long. And now conversation with our main referee between Catlin Snyder and Olivia Mumm, exchanging that goal scored by Giannis, her fourth on the season. The assist for Strauss, her fifth. 78 seconds left in regulation. The case from Mumm and Snyder fall on deaf ears. It stays 1-0 Hornets. Laro looking to press the advantage ahead. A potential dagger. Laro ripped from behind. It'll stay with Lynchburg. Less than a minute to go. Chance to wind down the remaining 50-plus seconds. They swing out to Boatwright, who can't handle the pass. It's now or never for Randolph-Macon. Metz applies the pressure. Romero picks up the loose ball. Clay ball to Metz. It'll be another save for Snyder. 20 seconds and counting. 21st save on the day for Snyder, by the way, tying her season high. Strauss tries again. Laro. Metz fighting for it. Ball still live. 5 seconds left. That's going to do it. A hard-fought battle between Randolph-Macon and Lynchburg ends with a 1-0 Hornets win. Goes down as the 4th shutout of the season for Kayla Brady, but she only saw 2 shots. Both were on goal. A 41-2 shot advantage for Lynchburg. Only results in 1 goal. It came from Emily Giannis with just under 90 seconds left in regulation. But a win is a win nonetheless for the Hornets. They improved to 9-4 on the season, 4-1 now in conference play. They enter the day 3rd in the conference standings. Will for sure stay there, may be able to climb it depending on the rest of the league action. Meanwhile, for Randolph-Macon, 3-game win streak comes to a close. They fall to 7-6, 2-2 in conference play. And you score the game-winning goal, you got to be our LHSN player of the match. Emily Giannis, the junior from New Jersey, garners the award and comes up as the hero for Lynchburg. Hornets, number 17 team in the country, improved to 9-4 on the season, like I mentioned. That's going to do it for the front end of our doubleheader here on LHSN. Be sure to stick around. The women's soccer team play host to Roanoke. First touch set for 4:30. Hope to have you with us. For my director, Sam Rice, and the rest of our fantastic LHSN broadcast crew, my name's TJ Wingert. Until 4:30, we are signing off.